Channel 3 is your back-to-school authority. In less than 2 weeks or so, students in Canton return to class. Joining us now to talk about the new school year and what's happening now as the clock ticks down to that very first day of school is Superintendent of Schools, Kevin Case. Good morning, Mr. Case. Thanks for being here.
Good morning. It's a pleasure to be with you.
First off, when's the first day of school?
We're excited to say the first day of school for our students is Monday, August 30th.
Okay. And do you already have a mask mandate in place, or were you waiting on the guidance from the governor, which now has come out?
Yeah, so like many districts, we were waiting for guidance from the governor. So at this point, as we know, everyone within our school district will need to wear a mask through at least September 30th, and that's what we're preparing for.
So what is new in the district that parents and perhaps even students need to know?
Well, we are just so excited to welcome all of our students back for full in-person learning this year. I'm happy to say that all of our teaching positions have been filled, and the teachers are already preparing their classrooms for the meet and greets for all of our grade levels that will be held next week. The first 3 days of school in Canton will be early release days, and we designed the first 3 days as early release days to help with the transition of students back to school. We realize for those students who have been remote learners for the past year, coming back to school may be somewhat challenging. So we want to ease them back into the classroom. We're planning. Our outstanding staff is planning some wonderful, engaging activities for the students for the first week. And we really pride ourselves here in Canton for helping students be their very best, right, to achieve academically at high levels. But we also know that students aren't going to achieve at those high levels unless we have that social emotional support as well. So we're going to continue this year to put an emphasis on social emotional learning. Our staff has been trained in the importance of emotional intelligence, and all of our teachers will be using strategies within their classroom to engage students and help them feel that they're in a safe, healthy, inclusive environment, ready to learn.
Mr. Case, let's talk more about that emotional social learning. Are you adding more resources like counselors or social workers, or have the teachers, as you say, just been additionally trained?
Yes, so our teachers have received training over the past 2 years, and we have added staff to our student support team. So we have added a school psychologist, we have added a school social worker, and 2 speech language pathologists. So we have a strong student support team to work collaboratively with our teachers to help our students feel safe to share and to collaborate with other students in the classroom. We're all about student engagement, making sure that students are fully engaged all day long while they're in the classroom.
Mr. Case, let's talk about in-person learning. You're saying all students will be back in classes this fall. Can you tell me just how important it is, especially after the pandemic, or we're still in the pandemic, but with the hybrid system, the remote learning, and how that can help bridge that learning gap loss?
Yes, nothing replaces in-classroom learning. The research shows that students achieve at higher levels when they are actually in the classroom, able to interact in person with the classroom teacher. There is no more important person in the school district than that classroom teacher that the students interact with. We also know the importance of students learning from each other and collaborating with each other. So nothing can replace the students' collaboration, again, in person. Again, we're planning some very engaging activities within our curriculum. Collaboration, critical thinking, communication, all of those are very important attributes that we want to teach our students in the Canton Public Schools.
Now, that said, is remote an option, particularly for those who may have an compromised immune system?
Yeah, so we are not planning a remote learning option as we had last year. However, there may be some exceptions where we may need to develop specific plans for individual students. We are all about meeting individual students' needs. So if students have a compromised condition, we'll be working with the student and their family to plan an appropriate program for them.
And are you anticipating stops and starts? This Delta variant seems to be pretty widespread and, according to the science, is even worse than COVID-19. So are you prepared for stopping and starting? I think down in Florida, one district's already closed.
Absolutely. We hope that won't be necessary, but we do plan for the fact if we have to close schools, we will be continuing with our remote learning plan. So we do have plans in place in the unfortunate case that has to happen.
Let's talk about how you plan to address the learning loss. I know we emphasize that going back to school in person will help that, but for some students, there's going to be a significant gap.
Absolutely. We had a very successful summer school program that just ended 2 weeks ago with several of our elementary school students and middle school and high school students spending 6 weeks of a boot camp, helping to strengthen those skills and fill in those learning gaps that have occurred. Our teachers are prepared to assess our students to find out where they are currently functioning and then take them to that next level. So our teachers have been trained on how to do that. So our goal is to meet every student's individual needs, no matter where they are functioning at this point. Our teachers have been analyzing student achievement data from last year, identifying where student achievement gaps are and planning their curriculum to teach to those learning gaps.
Because there are standards that you have to reach, obviously. Let's talk about, you said you had enough teachers. What do you need? Do you need subs? Do you need bus drivers? What do you need right now?
Well, that's a great question. So currently we have several vacancies for our paraeducator positions. So paraeducators are staff members that work in collaboration with the teachers to support students. We have several vacancies in that area. We continue to fill those areas. So if people want more information, they can log on to our Canton Public Schools website.
Again, school starts August 30th. Mr. Case, thank you for joining us. Is there anything that I left out that I did not ask that you may want to address?
No, I don't think so. We're just excited to have all of our students back. Looking forward to seeing students interact with one another. We're also looking at expanding some outdoor learning spaces so that in the good weather, students can learn outdoors as well as they are learning within the classroom.
Oh, can you elaborate on that a little bit more? Like sitting outside?
Yes, so last year during the pandemic, while we were in school, we did encourage teachers to bring their classes outdoors as much as possible. We had music instruction taking place outdoors on good weather days, and we had classes taking place outdoors. So this upcoming year, we're looking on setting up some more formal spaces outdoors for students to learn. So we're excited about that.
Kevin Case with the Canton Public School District, the superintendent there. Thanks so much for joining us, and I hope you have a good school year.
Thank you so much.